Hey, honey?
Yeah, what's up?
Hey everybody, I'm Fen, and this is Retro Reviews, a review show where we go through my copious amounts of tabletop gaming, books, paraphernalia, one at a time. And to keep me from rambling, we have Laura.
Hey everybody, so to keep us on track, I'm going to ask a list of questions.
Alright.
Okay, so what are we reviewing tonight?
Tonight we got Dragon Magazine number 121.
Okay, where did you get this one?
Again, this is out of that dude's collection they were selling at Eagle Hill Stamps and Coins, one of the best gaming stores in northern Maine. Dude was selling a big collection of back issues, $5 a piece, and when I was playing Magic during college, I'd go down and I'd pick up a few Magic card singles and a couple Dragon magazines every week.
Yeah, sounds good. Okay, do you want to give us a quick synopsis of the articles inside?
Alright, so the overview, as you can probably tell from the artwork, this is a Oriental Adventures themed issue. So this came out right around the same time the Oriental Adventure source book for AD&D came out. So there's a lot of Japanese and Chinese themed bonus source material to add to that book in this issue.
Okay.
Although the first article doesn't start off without diving into the content of the magazine, the theme of the magazine. The first issue is actually Zeb Cook. He wrote a lot of D&D books from first, second, and third edition. He had an article in Dragon Magazine called The Game Wizards. And this was a follow-up article that he had written called Who Dies Round 2. Who Dies, the first article was him basically writing it to get players to write in their feedback, because it was also announced that Dungeons & Dragons AD&D second edition was on the horizon, where they're going to go in and revise all the rules. So you had him responding to a lot of player questions and concerns about going from first edition to second edition, like what's going to change, where are you planning on going this, so he could get feedback of like what the players wanted. One of the letters that was written into him was saying like, I want first and second edition to be compatible with each other. And there are a few tweaks you need to make, but yes, second edition is backwards compatible with first edition. So that's one of the things I love, because my collection of early D&D stuff before third edition, I just use a mismatch of everything, as people can see from watching all of the videos of all the reviews I have from all my own books.
Let's not get too sidetracked though. What's next?
Next is What Do You Mean, Jack the Samurai? This is a random name generator for Japanese names. It has 600 different family names, as well as 1,000 different given/first names. Well, in their culture, it's the given name comes second, so second names. So that's a really cool article to have on hand, because it's easy for somebody who's never had experience, who's just English, to get like English sounding adventurer names, but love random names tables. Sage Advice, that article, that is a running column in the magazine. Sage Advice for this one covers a bunch of, it's a frequently asked questions thing, and about the new setting. One of the ones I found interesting that was there was someone who was like, yeah, so apparently forest barbarians have the rhetoric ability. Like, isn't that a little, it's like, rhetoric, isn't that like too fancy of a word for a barbarian to have? So they explained that the rhetoric skill that the forest barbarians have is that two forest barbarians will sit down and across from each other, both take a deep breath, and then just start arguing with each other. The argument does not need to make sense. The competition between the two of them is who can last the longest without stopping to breathe.
So who out-argues
Who
the other?
out-argues the other? And I was like, that is a really cool ability to have.
That's funny.
Next article is the deadliest perfume. It's the properties of lotus blossoms, and especially the dust that gets made out of them. Black lotus can put somebody unconscious or kill them. Purple lotus has to be eaten and will make somebody violently sick and possibly kill them. Green, if it gets green lotus dust, if it gets breathed in, causes paralysis. Red makes if you breathe it in, it makes you like high on hallucinogens. And the yellow and brown basically just weaken the body, but the rules for how that all works is in that article.
Okay.
The next one is the life and death of a castle. It's a story about what happens when somebody in feudal Japan decides, I want to build a castle, and then like, how does the process of building the castle go? What happens with the castle after it's been built? What happens when it becomes decommissioned? So that was like really cool to see. Next up, there is 2 optional classes for people to play. One is the geisha, which is the artist performer style, kind of like the Japanese version of a bard, but with no thieving abilities. But there is some like really cool, interesting spells that they gave the geisha to have, all dealing with the performing arts. Then there was the Jiden, which is single class ninja. The Oriental Adventures book, you had to have 2 different classes if you were a ninja, because you couldn't just be a ninja, because that's no, ninjas are bad. Ninja are bad and should not be trusted. So you had to have like a double life that you could live in the Oriental Adventures setting. This way you could just be a straight up ninja, like living in the sewers, eating pizza, training. Wrong game. All right. Next up is Sundragon Castle. It's both maps for the players, maps for the DM for an entire Japanese castle, and there is, and I haven't cut anything out of this magazine. There's some cardboard centerfolds, along with some paper centerfolds, that if you cut them out, you remove them from the magazine, cut them out, you can build a 3D papercraft Japanese castle.
Oh, that's super cool.
That is really cool. I just never took them out because I never wanted to destroy the castle, destroy the magazine, and papercraft. Yeah. Love and Ale is a short story set in the Dragonlance campaign setting. It was actually put into this magazine as a preview because it was published in the anthology book Magic of Kryn, which was actually going to get released like later, in like a month or 2. So they wanted to get some hype by putting one of the stories in. Then of course, the Dragon magazines didn't cover just D&D. They also covered the other games that TSR published. One of which was the Marvel superhero role-playing game, and they put what they called the Marvel file because they didn't really have room in the books to put all the Marvel superheroes. They put all the big popular ones, Thor, Iron Man, Hulk, all of those, and the Marvel villains. But they put the stats for like the C, D, E, and F tier superheroes that nobody really knew about, unless the diehard superhero fans. So the Marvel file for this week is actually covering Miss Marvel, not to be confused with the Miss Marvel that's in the Marvels movie that came out this past year for the MCU. This is actually the wrestler Miss Marvel, who is also called the She-Thing. And it was Sharon Ventura was her name. So it's different from, like, they haven't gone and done every version of every superhero in the MCU. They've cherry-picked which versions they wanted to use. So there's like...
Right.
So this is like the one that took over for Carol Danvers when she went off into space.
Okay.
But I know, it's only for the deep cut Marvel fans.
Okay, what's
Last
next?
article in it is for Top Secret. Again, they were going
So
for...
we can't tell if
No,
it's top secret.
it's for the Top Secret James Bond style spy RPG.
Oh, yeah, okay. So we can share it.
Yeah, we can share it. It's called Operation Zodiac. Last In issue 120, they had the rules for going into space and creating some space-themed characters. This month, 121, they had more info on spacefaring organizations, as well as some space-themed missions, some adventure ideas for playing Top Secret.
Okay, cool.
Yeah.
So what are you going to keep from this magazine?
Well, I definitely do want to scan and copy the Sun Dragon Castle once I got some colored ink for the printer. I think I got some cardstock floating around that I can print it on, but if not, I can easily just get some down to the office supply shop, so I can actually build that castle without damaging my issue. I do want to keep the rules for the Lotus, the Geisha class, and also the random name generator for Japanese names, because I just love having random name generators. I actually went through my high school yearbook and created a random name generator using everybody's first names and last names. It's actually how come my fantasy setting characters, the Archer family. I actually went to school with a kid whose last name was Archer. Okay. And I rolled Cameron Archer on my random name table and started the whole family of adventurers.
Okay. Yeah, well, it's useful.
Oh, yeah.
Okay, well, those are all my questions.
Actually, I want to hear, has anybody out there done any paper crafts? Have you done any paper model buildings for your D&D games? And if so, and if you got a link to a really cool one that you want to share with us, leave that in the comment section down below, and we'll see you next time.
Okay, bye everybody.
Peace.
Hey everybody, thanks for staying till the end of the episode. Remember to like, share, subscribe. Follow us on Facebook at Board Barista Productions. And if you want to support us, Patreon link at the bottom.